And that's why I said that. Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome to Board Game Breakfast.
Hello, I'm Chris Yee. Welcome to Board Game Breakfast.
All right. Stop copying me, Mom!
We'll work on the intros in the future.
Hey, it is the last week of the Dice Tower Kickstarter. We'll talk a little bit more about that as time goes by, but we have 5 days left. It ends on Friday at midnight Eastern Standard Time, and we will be there with you to the end. Mostly because we're not going to be able to go to sleep anyway watching it go to the end, so there's that. But hey, also, good news. We have a contest. We got 2 special edition Skate Summer pledges. Skate Summer is on Kickstarter right now. This is it's not on Kickstarter. Sorry, Skate Summer is going to be shipping in July, so that's pretty soon. You'll get this. This is a worldwide contest. All you have to do to get this game about skating, something I wasn't allowed to do as a kid because my mom said I would break my neck.
Was she right?
Well, obviously I didn't do it because I'm an obedient child. That's not even true, but still.
She was right.
I didn't break my neck. Anyhow, you need to answer this question. What purple animal is on the cover of Skate Summer? To find that out, go online and look it up. It's that Skate Summer. And all you have to do to enter this contest is to email us at contest@dicetower.com. In the subject line, put the word skate, S-K-A-T-E, and answer that question. So thanks, Pandasaurus. And that's our contest. I mentioned our Kickstarter. What else do I need to mention? It's coming up. We'll be back.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, we are Ryan and Bethany.
From Ryan Bethany Board Game Reviews.
All right, today we're talking about tiger stripes in this game. Every player is this cute little tiger trying to earn their tiger stripes. You do that by turning in sets of animals. It's a set collection game. What you're trying to do is, there's kind of a river of cards going out there. At the beginning of your turn, you're going to draw some cards, and then you draw out of the river as well. The tigers are used as wilds, whereas the other animals you're trying to get a set of 3. So a set of 3 boar, for instance, is worth 4 tiger stripes. A set of 3 snakes is worth 2, I think it is.
Yeah.
And so basically you're trying to get to the certain amount of points by turning in these sets of animals. This is a fantastic kids kind of family weight game, set collection game, and it was really, really smooth to teach and learn.
I felt like this game was perfect to introduce children to the concept of set collection. You know, they understand matching because matching is like really shoved at children. But to understand wanting to get a certain amount of certain things in order to turn that in for points, I thought this did a really great job of displaying that because that's all it is. It's just a set collection game. There's nothing else to it. That's all it is. And so I felt like it did that really well and it helped teach that. Like our 4-year-old really liked it. We had to walk her through some of it, but it's okay. The game's 7+, so it's not on the game. That's just our 4-year-old. But yeah, I just thought it did a really good job of that. Yeah,
there's a little bit of a resource balancing too. You could able to spend cards as resources to buy new cards, and that was really fun to see. You know, some of the really high dollar cards you could turn in for a couple of the lower dollar ones.
Yeah.
And maybe that doesn't sound like a good deal, but then you have a set, you turn that set in. So it was fun to see that balance and that trading taking place.
Well, everybody, if you want to hear more from us, you can always find us on Facebook and YouTube. We're Ryan Bethany Board Game Reviews. Until then, this is Ryan. I'm Bethany, hoping you have a happy, healthy breakfast. Bye,
everybody.
guys.
Gotta say, those animals look creepy. I like the art, except for the animal faces.
Oh, on the cards?
Yeah, that was creepy looking art.
I was distracted by, I think those are Pokemon on the shelf.
And we were talking about that they still had tags on them. Take the tags off. All right. Going back 30 years ago, when Chris was 2 or
3.
3. Okay.
Oh, I revealed too much!
What's your pet's, when you were a child, what's your pet's name? What's your mother's maiden name? Or is it the same answer for both?
Oh, plot twist.
So 30 years ago, now I did not play this game from 30 years ago. 10 years ago, this game came out from Stronghold Games. They reprinted it, and that's this Confusion. Now, what is it called? Confusion.
Espionage and deception.
Deception. Yeah.
Exceptional, deceptional Cold Wars.
Yeah, so it's called Confusion, which is not an incorrect word for what it is. So this is an abstract strategy game in which you need to capture your opponent's pieces, but you don't look at your pieces. All your pieces face your opponent. So you have this big board with a black marker, and I'll say, I'm going to move this piece 3 spaces forward. And you're like, you can't do that. I'm like, all right, so that piece, because I have all the pieces are marked. I know what this is piece, I don't remember how they marked it, but let's say this is piece A.
Your letters, right?
Yeah. So A can't move 3 spaces forward, so it can't be these 2 pieces. And so you slowly eliminate what the pieces are until you finally can capture it. Although you can lie, I think 1 or 2 times over the course of the game, which doesn't make things easier.
Do you have a double agent?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's the one you can.
You can lie
mix
about
it up.
that one. So that does not help things at all. But it still is. I love deduction. I love Stratego. This is Stratego with deduction.
It's like reverse Stratego. You don't know what your pieces are, right?
Right.
But you know what your opponents are. They're facing the opposite directions.
I love that aspect of it. What I don't love is, and I also like the theme. What I don't like is the way the game looked, and also the fact that no one seems to play this game. This came and went. Had you heard of it before we talked about it now?
I have, because I remember you talking about this at some point. I don't remember why, but and I looked into. I rewatched the video on it this morning because it's funny that your review of it, which obviously is from over 10 years ago, which is very great quality. For people who say the Dice Tower hasn't improved much over the years,
Yeah,
go
I
watch
know.
Tom's review on this. But
Is that an insult? I feel like it might be, but all right.
we've come a long way. It's mostly me. It's funny because 11 years ago the pieces were like really great pieces for that time. You complimented the production. You complimented a Stronghold Games release, Tom.
Well, no, I compliment either. You mean on the production
On the
values.
production.
Well, I still think Survive is not a bad-looking game.
Oh, no, yeah,
and that one actually does hold up. This one, I mean, it just looks boring, though. I guess not bad production. It just looks boring.
Yeah.
And even the theme, when I like the theme, doesn't hold as much traction as it did maybe 30 years ago
That's fair.
when we were still in the Cold War. Were we? No, 30 years ago was 92.
Oh, man, it's one of those numbers.
40 years ago, we were in the Cold War.
Do you still have this? Do we have a copy of this?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because this one's right on the edge. I don't think I would put this in the Dice Tower library. I'm pretty sure it's not in the Dice Tower library. I wouldn't, because who's going to play it? And I don't like putting games in the library unless I know that some people are like jonesing to play it. This one is not one I think will even be reprinted. Maybe.
Maybe maybe change up the theme by this point, right?
Yeah. But I do like the deduction aspect, so it's worth checking out. So that's 30 years ago. Confusion, espionage, and deception. Oh, it's written on this sheet here. There you go.
Hello, Proti here, your Romanian content creator, and today I will continue my series where I will talk about a specific part of a game, and today we will talk about Nidavellir. Nidavellir is an auctioning game with set collection. You have some coins where you, with the help of those coins, you auction off who's picking first in the different taverns the dwarf that you need for the set collection part, and then every color of a dwarf is giving you points in a different way. Of course, it's good to have more of the same color, so this is the interesting part if you go focusing on one color. or you spread out on all the different colors. Because why? First of all, and this is not related to that, is you can upgrade your coins, which is helping you during the game to win more auctions, but in the same time it will be points at the end of the game. And the other thing is what I wanted to say is if you spread out and you have full rows of different color types dwarfs, you will get a hero. And this is a thing that I wanted to discuss today, and I want to discuss about one hero that you can get, and this is Grid. Grid looks quite basic, let's say. It says, okay, you get 7 points for her at the end of the game, and you can upgrade one of your coins with 7. I think this is really really interesting, let's say, yeah, really easy to understand hero, but I'm always drawn to it because why? It can give you the possibility to upgrade that too, that you will never be able to upgrade in another way, just with this kind of bonus upgrades from cards or from benefits during the two eras and so on. And I'm always, yeah, there are, let's say, stronger heroes that maybe you can go for, but I think this is the one that is always good to take if you have the possibility to. So, or this is in my opinion, because yeah, it's giving you some basic points, and it's giving you 14 points because an upgraded for 7 is like 7 points more at the end of the game, and you have the possibility to have more powerful coins, and if you are able to get it fast, then you have this edge and have more powerful coins than the others, which can help you to get the different dwarves that you need for your set collection from the different taverns. So this is what I wanted to talk shortly from Nidavellir, and specific the hero Grid. Thank you very much and have a nice breakfast.
Alrighty, hey, look! Woo! This is we finally got our swag. Some of you have been upset that you didn't get the Kickstarter rewards. We just got them. So,
Yes.
look, it's the dog.
First.
Woo! If you roll them, that's a 4.
Hey, heads up.
And then we also, the thing I'm really excited about, this bicycle deck of cards we got, which is really cool.
I'm really excited about that, yeah.
Okay, so what's coming from the Dice Tower this week? Well, the big thing is we're finishing up the top 100 games of all time. One every day at noon.
All week long.
So today's 50 to 41. Who's People's Champion today?
That'll be me today.
All right.
I represent you.
Less exciting today.
Tell him I need to go home.
Oh, Mike just called in sick.
Nothing but uphill from the rest of the
From
week
work.
though.
And then we go through, so 40 to 31 tomorrow, and then 10 to 1 on Friday. But also, there's going to be, so we've been kind of on a whim. We started playing through the favorite games that we all picked from last year. We've already done my favorite, Ark Nova, from last year. We did
Mike's, I remember you forget he exists, but yeah, Mike, Merchant's Cove.
Yes, I was getting, I forget the name of the game, not Mike.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Merchant's Cove, and then Z did Sleeping Gods. But we have some more. The A-Team has some games that were on their favorite, and there was crossovers and such. So today, at, I believe it's 3 or 2?
2.
At 2 o'clock today, where you're going to see
His name is Mike.
No, not the person.
I'm not in that one.
No, Wendy and Roy are going to be playing through Destinies.
Destinies, that's what it is. Okay, and then later on this week, you're going to see Camilla's favorite game, Meadows.
Yep.
Meadow. Not
Meadow,
Meadows.
singular, yep.
Meadow. We're not doing
Swam
Goem,
here.
which was Chris's favorite game, because we've already done Goem.
We've already live played that as part of the winter or autumn spectacular.
Yes, so executive decision, I wasn't going to do it twice. but, okay, there are other things going up this week. There's reviews. A big thing to note is a couple times things have changed. First of all, today's Q&A is normally at noon, but our top 100's at noon. So today's Q&A is at 10, so I better get ready for that. That's soon. Also, Board Game Breakfast on Thursday is permanently moving to 9 a.m. rather than 10 a.m., and we're doing that just so it doesn't conflict with other stuff on Thursdays.
Permanently. Bonacor's going to have to wake up early.
He always...
Early.
The garbage is that he already wakes up early. He just pretends he does not. He's always like, I'm like, you've been up for 3 hours. Come on.
The man needs his beauty sleep. That's why he gets up at 6 in the morning. That was a dig.
Yes. But then Friday. So Friday's a big day. So Friday we're doing our 10 to 1. Yay. That's exciting. Also on Friday we're releasing a
You really sound like it.
No, I am excited about it. Chris edited our Kingdom Death playthrough. This is the first time in a while we've done one of these playthroughs. And Chris edited it down to like, I don't know, 23 minutes or something?
Yeah, it's 26 minutes. It's one of the, the commentary to play through will be, there'll be discussion and stuff kind of throughout it.
It's like our version of tabletop.
No.
What we eat in tabletop.
No.
It's going to have editing equal to that. It's my turn now.
I'm not going to toot anybody's horn, but Tom is correct.
Anyway, so Kingdom Death, and then at night... Oh, no, then Meadows on Friday, too, I think. Isn't
Thursday.
It? Oh, Meadows on Thursday. Then at night on Friday, starting at 8 p.m., we're going to be playing through and just playing random games, like we always do, going through the end of the year, or the end of the Kickstarter. End of the year, it's January. But the end of our Kickstarter live here, and we'll see what happens. Anything can happen on those. It has happened in the past. Let's see what happens on this one. All right. I think that's all the stuff coming out this week. Like I said, lots of our normal shows, crowd surfing and all that's going up. We're reviewing, like I said, several different games. I've just Core Quest. You can see it behind me. Or no,
nope.
You could have seen it behind me. I just put it on the table here. Quick. Give me the lid.
It's spread all over the table, Tom.
And other games. So,
complete disaster over here.
Let's keep moving.
Hey everybody, Ron here. I'm back with another affordable board game. Today I'm going to talk about Silver and Gold. Silver and Gold is a game designed by Phil Walker Harding, published by Pandasaurus Games, plays 2 to 4 players ages 8 and up in approximately 20 minutes, and has a $20 MSRP. Score the most points on this flip and right as you fill out treasure cards. It's a basic setup. You give each player a marker and a scorecard, and in each round they'll be shuffling these treasure cards and trying to score these treasure cards. The way you score these treasure cards is by matching the pattern on the expedition card that's flipped up. When you fill up your treasure card, you score that card. Special symbols, there's a gold symbol. When you cross that off, you can gain points that way. You can score points based on how many rows of coins you fill out in which player order. You also get points for crossing off the palm trees. When you mark an X on a X symbol, you can immediately cross off another empty box. The game ends after 4 rounds. You count up your score, and the most points wins. I like this game. It's simple. It's quick. It does take 20 minutes. It's a nice filler game. I highly recommend it. And that was Silver and Gold. I hope you folks enjoy. And until next time, see you later.
Millions of years ago. Evolution. Now, I've talked about this in the past, but I want to talk about it again because it always happens.
You're going to talk about X-Men, aren't you?
I am so not going to talk about X-Men. I'm reading a lot of X-Men these days, and X-Men of the teens. Oh, no, we're not in the teens anymore. We're in the 20s.
The 2020s?
Yeah, I can say the 20s now.
You can say the 20s.
I think we can clarify. No one's going to go like, oh, the 1920s X-Men.
Yeah.
The 20s X-Men is not as good as, say, the 90s X-Men. The art might be better. The 90s art's not. Anyway.
The bodysuits. The bodysuits game. I'm rewatching.
Where are their feet?
I'm watching the X-Men 90s animated series with my daughter. This has nothing to do with the topic of evolution, mind you.
You started this.
I did, but oh my gosh, the bodysuits, the wraparound headgear that they have.
Yeah, why did they wrap around the headgear there?
I don't know. Jim Lee was on something with that, but like.
You can't draw feet. Go look it up. It's a very funny thing. Anyway.
Interesting.
So, we're talking about game evolution. I am a firm believer that games get better. I've said this time before. Yes, classics can hold up. Yes, if they stop making games today, you have a gazillion great games to play for, and yes, games came out. But every time I play older games, we often say it's a product of its time, and we don't even mean that in like the art and stuff. Well, although that does matter, the art's definitely gotten better.
Oh,
I'm sorry, that's not even a question. Art has evolved. They just got better tools. They're putting more effort into it. Production has gone up to the point where if you publish a game that looks like it's the same production value in the 90s, like we just talked about Confusion.
Yeah.
There's no games have gotten better, but games are evolving because they build on other games. You learn what works and doesn't work. A good example is Richard Borg with his Commands and Colors series. So in the original game, the first one in the series is Battle Line, which is Civil War.
Okay.
Have you played any of these games?
I've not. It's
Like none of his games?
none of the not Memoir
Like-
44, which is a similar system, isn't it?
Yes. Well,
yeah.
they all play the same system essentially, where you have a deck of cards, you play a card, and it will say move 2 units on the right, move 2 units in the middle, move 2 on this side, or move 3, or move 1. Well, clearly moving 3 is better than 1.
Right.
And if you draw, that's better. But there's a card in that original battle line that says, move everything you have. You get that card, you're like, ha, ha, ha. In fact, some people said, let's take that card out of the game. Well, guess what?
I would, yes.
In Memoir 44, that card doesn't exist.
Strange.
However, as the series went by, suddenly they're like, move 1 unit, but then when you're done, you get to draw 2 cards and pick which one you're going to keep. So playing the 1 had more strategic use to it, and they started balancing that out. That's a small thing, but it works. Dice have evolved. We no longer have to roll dice and pull up the CRT, the combat result table.
Oof.
You know, where you compare and look here and do that. We've managed to put things together. It's not always good. Sometimes they streamline things, and every time I say this, 10 old guys in the back of the room are going to raise their hand and be like, it was better in the old days. Fantastic. Not true at all. But, you know, living on nostalgia. Games are getting better. They're evolving. Even, I love Dominion, and I can still put that, you know, very high on my list. It could be high on my top 100 list. We'll find out. But the collectible card games learn from that. They'll say, oh, this card doesn't work. This doesn't work. You know, take someone else's hand and play it for them. That's a bad card. You know, let's not put that in other sets. In other games. And things like that can change and evolve. But also, gamers can evolve. I think my tastes change, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I do my look back each week, and I look at a game and I'll say, oh, well, 10 years ago I thought that game was okay. Now I don't like it at all because my tastes have evolved and gotten better, or worse, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder about that. If I were to go back to the games that I reviewed years ago, right, because reviewed stuff on my own podcast, I think, oh man, some of the opinions that I had then were just not as well informed as they could be. And I'm glad that I discussed them when I did, but it is interesting that, yeah, more exposure to more games. We talked about this last week, right, that if you've played only a few games, you can review them, you can discuss them and everything, right?
100%.
But it is something nice to have more insight as when you've evolved as a gamer and seen more things and realize, oh, okay, these are the things that I found that I like. These are the things that I found don't work for me or for my group or anything. It is interesting to see games do get better, and I think that gives you a little bit more insight as to why you still like older games or why maybe they don't hit for you as much as they used to anymore.
That's a good topic. Like, why do I like older games? Nostalgia definitely plays a part.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can't tell you how many games I played from my childhood I've gone back to, and I was like, wow. That happens even more with TV shows.
Oh, I do not revisit certain movies and shows because I thought, oh, I have great memories of that. They're going to stay that way.
A G.I. Joe cartoon, I was like, oh, oh, I thought that was a good show. Sorry.
Glorified 30-minute toy commercial.
Anyhow, evolution. Sometimes it's a good thing.
What is up? My name is Melissa McCack, and this is Smashing Buttons and Slamming Cards. This is a segment where I talk about a video game I love and I connect it to a board game I love. And this week, I'm going to change it up just a little bit because that's what I do sometimes. I want to talk about platforms in the digital space that allow you to play board games online with friends, family, strangers, enemies. I'm pretty much going to do it in rank form on my list. And these are all platforms that I have used. So I've only used 4 of them, so we're going to talk about 4. The bottom of my list is Tabletop Simulator. Games, I find it so fiddly to use, and so it's at the bottom of my list. I really tend to not use that platform. Third on my list is Tabletopia. This one is just a little bit better. It's got better graphics, I would say. It's a little less fiddly, but still kind of fiddly, and it just elongates the board games. My second pick is Sovereignty, which is a very new platform, and honestly, I think would be my number 1 because it allows for you to have a very nice table presence and it does not allow for you to make mistakes. And I'm actually going to go into my number one, Board Game Arena. Board Game Arena is fantastic. The visualization is terrible. It looks like crap, but it makes things so much easier, which is what I like. I don't want a 1 hour board game to be a 2 hour board game. It doesn't let you do anything wrong. Sovereignty does the same thing. Only it looks like Tabletopia. If Sovereignty had a larger library and a larger player base, which I think it will have as it grows, this will definitely be my number one by far. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you like, you can check out mine and my brother's channel called Room 51. I'll catch you next time.
Alrighty, I'm still playing the same video game I played last time I talked, which is Horizon Zero Dawn. And I'm assuming at the rate that I'm going in this, I will still be playing it. Still fantastic. It's currently rated 9.5 out of 10.
For you personally?
Yes. The only thing I don't like about it, every once in a while I'm in a room, and I know I'm supposed to jump to a ledge somewhere, and I can't. It's dark, and I can't see where the ledge is, and I'm like, do I just jump around and use my limited vision, or do I get on the internet and say, how do I get out of this spot? Because I'm here to fight monsters, not to find a ledge to jump on.
There's games where I think that's first of all, it's always acceptable to just say like, I don't have time to mess with this thing for an hour. I'll just look it up. But in a situation like that, yeah, I'm here to hunt dinosaur robots.
Yeah.
That's acceptable.
I just don't care where the handheld grips are. Anyway, so I didn't do anything new. I haven't seen any new movies or TV shows. We're going back 30 years ago again, but this time for video games. And this, again, made me feel old. Street Fighter 2, which once again came out when you were, what, 3, I guess?
Yeah.
So I was
I was playing Street Fighter in the womb, though.
I was a teenager when this came out, and this blew the doors off everything. I mean, up to this point, there's certain video games in my life I remember that, like, Super Mario, the first time I saw that. Super Mario World. First time I saw Legends of Zelda, but Street Fighter was one of those games. The idea of two people fighting was not new to Street Fighter 2. In fact, it's called Street Fighter 2. Notice how many people talk about Street Fighter. But, I'd seen fighting games maybe before, but this, and it came out pretty quickly after it came out in the arcades on the Super Nintendo. So I played it about equally. My friend had a Super Nintendo, and we played Street Fighter all the time. This is where my stories come from, where I would say, how do you find the characters? And he'd be like, well, just practice different button combinations, because there was no internet.
Yeah.
Or if there was an internet, I had no access to it. So just press the button combinations, and he would pummel me while I was trying to figure that out. I might figure out it at the end. So I just picked one character, Dawson, and played that character all the time. So I finally went to the arcade, not the arcade, but near my house we had a 7-Eleven at my work. And so when I got off work, I was 16. I got off work, ran over, I had a 15-minute break. So I ran over fast as I could, started playing Street Fighter so I could learn how to do these moves. And then someone else would come in and put a quarter on the thing, which meant they got to play. Oh, I hate that, because the computer would let me learn. The person would come in and they'd whoop me every time, and then they would stay there, and I was like, well, I'm not wasting more quarters on this person. But good times.
I had so many good times playing this. Yeah, both on console and at the arcade. I was actually just telling everyone about that feeling of going to the arcade, slamming the quarter on there. My family sweats. I am not the worst sweater in my family, because one time my brother
I don't know where this is going, but all right.
My brother was playing Street Fighter on the console, right? And I ran over to play some, car racing game, whatever. I came back, and he was so into it. He had that like sweat ring around his collar, and his, just his shirt was a little bit damp. And I was
From playing a video game?
I was like, were you running laps? He's like, no, I'm just, I'm really into this, But there's so many good memories of that. Did it explain the moves in the rule book? Because video games used to come with genuine rule books.
Yes, if I remember correctly, it told you like light, medium, high punch, light, medium, hard kick. I think how to dodge. I think it said something to the effect of find the secret moves type thing. I think. I mean, Nintendo Power. Back then they were trying to sell Nintendo Power. Nintendo Power had all that garbage in. I never had it. Or you could call the 1-900 number.
Oh my
to get the answers to that. I learned them because everyone knew them, and also a lot of them are the same. Back, forward, roll the cursor
forward.
And stuff.
Yeah.
It wasn't as bad as Mortal Kombat, which came out very similar time. Mm-hmm. Mortal Kombat had all those finishing moves and stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't care so much about that. As a kid, I was like, I'm here to play the game.
Yeah.
Still feel that way.
Old video games did not hold your hand whatsoever. They said, read or figure it out. And I think every kid probably lost the rules book, and so they just figured it out.
Yeah, they did not have tutorials back then. But also, and everyone in the background does this.
Oh, that's my favorite.
I know, I love it. I love those backgrounds. I like Street Fighter a lot. I love the characters. I thought they were very diverse. I don't think it's aged well. Obviously, there's some problems. Like, there was only one woman in the original setup.
The original one, yeah.
And the...
Didn't they have Cammy too?
No, Cammy was not at it. Cammy was not in the original Street Fighter 2.
Street Fighter 2 Alpha, the Street Fighter 2 Terp.
Yeah,
This is one of those where they milked it because they knew they had a cash
Sure, and
cow.
for a while, when you went to the arcade, every game except 3 was some sort of fighting game. They were all fighting games. I was like, is there nothing else? But Street Fighter 2 is one of my favorites in this genre. There you go.
Happy breakfast, everyone. Today I'm here to talk to you about a different cooperative trick-taking game. We've all heard of The Crew, but, well, The Fox in the Forest Duet. Well, I think that, well, it certainly did it before this one. It might have even done it before the original Crew as well. This is only for 2 players, where The Crew really does let itself down. That's really a 3+ experience, whereas this is only for 2, just like the original Fox in the Forest. But this one is cooperative. You are playing the cards to sort of push and pull the token in the middle along the board in certain ways that you're triggering certain steps. You don't want the token to come off your end, neither do you want to push it off, effectively off your opponent's end, or not opponent, your ally's end. You're trying to keep it balanced in the middle by winning and losing these tricks. I mean, that, like with The Crew, is something really interesting. It's not done in too many trick-taking games. These are 2 examples, 2 very good examples, where not only do you want to win tricks, you want to lose them. I think that really does sort of take these to the next level, because it just twists the logic of trick-taking. You look at your hand, brilliant cards. Oh, I need to lose some of these tricks though. So it just makes things a little bit different. And if you're thinking for 2 players, whereas The Crew, I think doesn't work too well at 2, maybe go for the Fox in the Forest Duet. Anyway, that is my thoughts on some cooperative trick-taking. Let me know in the comments section below what's your favourite one. And I'm Oliver East, signing out.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much again for watching Board Game Breakfast. Thank you to Pandasaurus for sponsoring this. Don't forget to check out, if you're just tuning in now, we have a contest at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, our Kickstarter is pretty close to hitting the next stretch goal, which is the Bonacore is Wrong video.
All right. Hey, folks, if you like what we do, we're going to harp. The reason I do a Kickstarter is so that we can harp on this for 1 month a year. Or actually, we don't even run it for a month. Run it for
less
3
than a
weeks.
month a year.
And then we're done. And then we go back, and I would hope you can see we're not actually releasing less content anyway. We got the top 100s coming. So come back here in 28 minutes for a Q&A with me, and then at noon for the top 100, and then at 2 for Destinies. That's a lot of stuff for you all to watch. I hope you enjoy it. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Chris Yee.
Have fun evolving.
Thanks for watching Board Game Breakfast. Tune in each week for your daily dose of gaming goodness with Tom Vasel and all the gang. Until next time, I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching Board Game Breakfast, a Dice Tower production.